Evening guys, bought myself one of these. This is essentially a chainsaw chain attached to an angle grinder disc. It says cutting, carving and shaping, so we'll see. Here we go. Open him up. Nice little bit of Chinese writing on there. Who knows what that says. Okay. So the chain doesn't move around in the disc because it looked like it might be a bit sloppy. It's got these. Oh, hello. Well, they're not going to stay on for 5 seconds. That must just be for transport. There's basically naffle instructions on this. It just says we'll cut everything, including plastic. Okay, so it's a little bit falling apart. We've got 2 plates to push it between and a small chainsaw chain. Pretty standard. Teeth, depth gauge, same as a chainsaw. Specs on, gloves on, weird chainsaw thing on. I'm going to give this thing a try. Got a stack of pallets over there, so I'm going to drag the cameras over and you can watch and see if we think this is any good. Honestly, you've just seen me taking this out of the packet. I've never used one of these before. Quite frankly, I think it's ridiculous, but we will give it a go. Maybe it's brilliant, maybe it's the most stupidest thing anyone's ever thought of. We'll find out. So just cut our first line down there. First ever experience with one of these, I have to say. It was good. I mean, this pallet wood is pretty rubbish wood. It is soft. It is pretty rubbish, but that really made light work of it. It didn't grab. It didn't kick. It wasn't cutting too deep. It wasn't interfering with anything else underneath it. So I'm just going to butcher this whole pallet now and see if it continues to impress me, but I have to say, first go, I think it's pretty good. It kind of makes me laugh because it's just ridiculous. So cutting stuff up, it was made pretty short work of that pallet. It was easy to use, it was easy to hold on to actually, which I was really surprised about. I did jump a bit once you brought it through. If I wanted to take another bite and just let it run back and pull it back like I would a normal grinder, it was quite jumpy then, so I had to be careful of that. I didn't have any problem with the chain moving or wobbling around, but I did have to be quite careful of the cable. I wasn't really thinking beforehand that was going to be a big problem, but moving it around, obviously when you're sawing with a chainsaw, that you don't have that problem. So usually using a petrol chainsaw I am anyway, so that was something that I wasn't expecting as I draw it through. Oh, the cable's in the way again, and I was getting around my legs, so that was a bit annoying, but that isn't the add-on's fault. That's just using a grinder, something to get used to. So chopping, win. The other thing it says it's good at is carving. Now that might be good at carving. We'll see if I am good. Probably not. So I'm going to get a chunk of wood out of the fire store and we'll see what we think of it. So let's give it a go. Let's see if this is any good at carving. Got some firewood clamped in the vise and a peculiar shape. We'll see what we fancy. Now, we may not be able to judge this thing by what this ends up looking like, but I will be able to give you an opinion on what it's like to carving. I've done a little bit of chainsaw carving before and a little bit with chisels, so I have some experience to relate it to, so we'll give that a good mull over. But let's give it a crack. Chainsaw gloves back on. Still do not trust this completely. Chainsaw gloves are good because they give you that protection. I think they bind the chain if the chain breaks and comes around and slaps you on. So let's give it a crack. Well, there we go. A little attempt at carving, and on the whole, I'd say it was quite good. Clearly, I'm not going to set the artistic world alight with these efforts, but I reckon with practice and the first idea of what you're actually aiming for, you could turn that into a pretty effective tool for cutting out at least most of the rough work for a wood carving. So I'd say, yep, that's a tick. It is good for carving. So to round up, we've done cutting, yes, we've done carving, and we've done shaping, which I reckon is basically the same as carving, but it is really good at removing material fast. I quite like the fact that it's got teeth that protrude below the disc, so as I was riding it across the material, it was removing quite a lot at speed, and I reckon it's still got a good amount of life left in it. So on the whole, I'd say I was extremely skeptical to start with whether this was going to be a complete disaster, but actually as long as you hold on flipping tight, and to be honest, I wouldn't want to do it without my chainsaw gloves on, but not a totally ridiculous invention. It works well, so give it a go if you want something that's pretty crude and you just want to hold on tight and just chomp through wood, then this is a pretty good tool. So stick the link in the description to this and this if you want to have a look. I have no idea if other brands are any good, but we know that this one works because I've had a play. So thanks for watching. If you're interested in anything else I might be up to, check out the rest of the channel, but thanks for watching and I'll see you maybe next time. Thank you.